when I start banking, I worked with a conventional bank. And I can tell you there are differences definitely between conventional and Islamic or halal or other alternative assets. But from the legal perspective, it's exactly the same. Okay, you have credit risk, you have interest rate risk, you have lien or mortgage risk, which all are covered under the alternative halal financing. Because this is the whole concept of Islam, is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is promoting the human welfare, okay, through five things. Number one, faith. By safeguarding, number one, faith. Number two, life. Number three, intellect. Number four, family and society. And number five, your wealth. So all of this are covered under the Islamic law. So when you do an Islamic transaction, you have the right to take guarantees or lien on an asset, or you can get a third party guaranteeing a transaction. You have to do your due diligence. Okay, so let's go into a deep, specific example now. Assume that you are doing a mortgage. Okay, whether it's Islamic or conventional, you can have the property, the asset, as a mortgage, as a lien, to secure the principal. So it's the same. So from the conventional bank perspective and the legality point of view, it's exactly the same. To give you a very simple example so anyone can understand that, okay, if you would like to go from point A to point B, how many routes do you have? You have so many routes, okay? But you can actually take the plane, you can take a car, you can take a boat. What's the difference between the three?
Price.
Price is one of them, right? Number two, the tool itself. But at the end of the day, it's a method of transportation to take you from point A to B. Okay? Islamic banking and conventional, you can actually say it's exactly as that example. You would like actually to take your client from point A to invest his money to point B, or to borrow to have his asset from point B. There are routes. One of them is Islamic financing, which actually dedicate you that you have to pay a higher price or lesser price. Okay, so the condition of it differs from the other route, and it differs from the third route, which is the conventional banking. There are solutions, but actually to come up with some solution, you have to exert some effort. And this has to come from the community. Okay, I'll give you an example, which is, it's 100% guaranteed. And as Muslims all over the world, actually we have done this and we have successfully achieved what we want. Do you remember 10 years ago, if someone asks you about halal zabiha or halal food, you will say, what is halal food, or what's halal zabiha, and where is it, and who is selling it? No one. Okay. Now after 10 years, or maybe less or more, okay, you have halal food everywhere for everyone.
Now.
Exactly. And even, by the way, there are demand of halal food from non-Muslims. Okay? So we have done this before. We keep, sorry to say, nagging people, we need this, we need halal food, we need halal food, we need to slaughter in that way, we need this. And then we suffered a little bit, but at the end we achieve what we want. And it would, for everyone, it's for the sake, not only for Muslim, it's for the sake of humanity. Everyone is getting the benefit of that. So it's exactly the same. If we start calling all conventional banks, or even call on our community, our society, we need to establish a halal financial institution. Okay, we will do it. Yes, we will suffer a little bit to do it, but at the end of the day, we'll achieve this. It's exactly like halal food. We should have halal financing. And this is really important. People, they don't realize this. Okay, we do care about halal food, but what about halal earnings? That you will use this money to buy the halal food. So how come actually you do care about halal food while your money is not 100% halal? Okay, so at least you have to secure your halal earnings, and then you can go buy the halal food. Okay, so this is how actually people should look at it. The second thing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our Lord, He didn't say anything about halal food. He said, yes, this is halal and this is haram, this is forbidden, this is permissible. But in rare cases, if you cannot find anything, Lord allowed you to eat anything or drink anything. Okay, but when it comes to earning and money and your investment, your financing, there is no exception. On the contrary, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala declared war. He said, anyone who is dealing in interest riba, he declares war on him with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So
It's scary, yeah.
yeah, it's scary. But I mean, we don't visualize it as I actually made the picture right now.
Yeah.
So we have to think that way. We have to go and knock on every bank, every branch, everyone we know working in the financial institutions. We need halal investment product. We need a halal mortgage. Let them learn. OSFI now, they have a full-fledged department. They know about Islamic banking. So it's not new for Canada. It's not new in this country. Even in 2016, the government of Canada, they actually produced a book about Islamic banking outlook in Canada in 2016. And a team of the Canadian government, they flew to Bahrain to attend the Islamic World Conference, okay? And they presented that paper about Canada there.
Yeah.
So I'll give you some statistic. I mean, because when you go and discuss at high level with conventional bank, they say, oh, there is no demand.
Right.
We are afraid that we launch an Islamic product or halal product, but there is no demand because we have a list of clients. They're all Muslims. None of them complained about those products.
Right.
Okay, but I'll give you a statistic. Right now, we are actually about 1.5 million Muslims in Canada. The expectation in 2030, the Muslim population or percentage would be 6.6% of the Canadian. 6.6%.
Yeah.
Okay, the halal food, it's about $1 billion. Okay, the halal financing. Okay, I'll give you one product, which is mortgages. Okay, as I said, we have 1.3 million or 1.5 million Muslims in Canada. 60% they live in Ontario. So about 800. So 800 take an average of 4 individual per family. So we have 200 household.
Yeah.
So those 200,000 household, they need to live in a property.
Yeah.
Take an average. What would be the average price cost for a property?
600.
No, I'll tell you 400.
Okay.
Let's go conservative as much as we can.
All right. Fine.
400, okay? So 200,000 multiplied by 400,000.
Yeah.
You are talking about 8 billion,
Wow.
okay? So no one bank can do this.
Yeah.
Not even, no one can do this, okay? As an Islamic banker, I would like to take only 5% penetration rate. So I'm talking about if I can do 10,000, only 10,000 mortgage transaction per year, that would be a great achievement, great success. I'm telling you, you can't. You can't even do the 10,000. You don't have enough employee to do this. You don't have legal to do this. You don't have the money to do even this. Okay? So no one bank would dedicate, $10 billion to do those transactions. It's very difficult. So the market is there. Okay? And I'll give you a statistic from the Canadian market about this. Any ethnical group, okay, they own roughly about 79 to 81% of their properties. So take, say, the Italian, the Portuguese, whatever, any group, and you'll find out that 80% of them, they own their own properties. It means that they have taken a mortgage and they paid the down payment and they own the property. Okay? When it comes to Muslim, what is the percentage? The percentage is 49 compared to 80.
Wow.
Okay, big difference. Why is that difference? Although Muslims, they're good, they have been paying, they have very good jobs and all of that. Okay, but because they fear, okay, the war, the declaration of war against riba. So that's why they don't want to deal with conventional banks. They don't want to go to borrow on mortgage-based or interest-based transaction.
Right.
So that's why only you find 49% of Muslims, they own their own properties.
Yeah.
And those they have taken the fatwa or pronouncement of one of the scholars that if you cannot find the halal way, you can actually use the riba, which I don't recommend it because people actually are relaxed and they don't find solutions. They say, all right, we have this fatwa, let's do it, let's take it. And that's why, till now, we don't have an Islamic financial institution. Without this fatwa, I believe we would have a competition, and we have so many halal solution.
Right.
So this is a really serious problem, and we have to address it. And that's why right now we are actually working with good people from the society here in the GTA. We are trying to submit an application for a credit union. And the credit union would work 100% on ethical basis in compliant with the Islamic laws.
Mm-hmm. So what's the difference between a bank and credit union then?
Okay. There are a couple of differences. Okay. Number one, a bank can deal worldwide. Okay. Credit union, they have two types. One, they can deal only on federal, only through Canada. And the second, they can only deal in provincial. So what we are planning to do is only Ontario province. So this one will be actually for dealing for the people on Ontario. Okay, this is one difference. The second one, banks definitely it needs huge capital. Okay, plus the owner of this capital are shareholders. All their objective is actually increasing the value of their shares, plus making lots of profit. As a shareholder, this is what they're after. They're maximizing their profit, which is profit or increasing in share value.
Right.
Okay. No, the credit union doesn't work that way. Credit union is like a committee. Okay, it's like a club. Okay, all the objective of that credit union is satisfy and serve its members. Okay, so you have two tiers of capital. One tier based on the membership, okay, and the other one based on shareholding. The shareholding maximum shareholder amounts in this share capital should not exceed 5%. Why is this? So that they have no control. Okay. So this is the share capital of the people they are investing. Plus there is the share capital, which is the members of the fees of the members to participate in that credit union. Okay. What about voting? Okay. Each member has a vote. So assume that the fees for this credit union is $1,000. So you will pay $1,000 and you have a vote. You can pay 2, 3, 4. It's up to you if you need to have more shares. But still, you have only just one vote per individual. What about the share capitals, the other one? Each one has only one vote as well. Even if you own 5% or you own 2%, you own 1%, you still have one vote. It's not pro rata to your shareholding. No, it's you have one vote. So everyone has one vote. So by doing this, the members definitely will be much higher than the share capital. So any decision to be taken, it would be for the sake of the credit union and the society they are serving. So those are one of the main few things, but there are a huge list of differences. One of them is the credit union, you don't pay taxes, okay, or income tax. So then it means that the profit you are making goes back to the members in the credit union. So this is how, because there is no dividends, you're not going to distribute anything. So whatever you are making, okay, you have to give it back to your members. Okay. And finally, the big difference, this one is profit-based, which is the bank. The credit union is not for profit. So there is no profits that you are going to distribute it back to your shareholders. No. Whatever profit you are making, you are going to throw back again to your members. You'll give them, say, higher return. You will give them lower fees, and so on and so forth. The credit union is the easiest and fastest way. Because we have some experience right now in dealing with Canadian regulatory boards. So I believe we can have, if we raise the required money to submit the application and get the feasibility study and all of that, I believe we can have a credit union, a halal credit union, within the next 18 months. Okay, to submit the application for the credit union, we have to have at least 20 members. Okay. So those members, they will actually have a share, a fees to be a member in the credit union. So as soon as we get the approval of FESCO, which is the regulatory body for credit union, okay, we will do something called the information memorandum. Through this information memorandum, we are going to raise the required share capital, okay, for the institution. The minimum is 5 million. Okay, as soon as we raise this, we will get we will be granted the license for the credit union. At that time, we will launch the credit union. So any individual in Ontario that he wants or she wants to deal ethically without no interest, all the terms and regulation we explained it before, they will actually submit a membership and they pay the fees. So now they are member. So at that time, they can actually deposit their money, they can invest, they can ask for whatever financing they need, whether they need a car, consumer finance, educational, travel, medical, anything. All of those products will be presented in the credit union to fulfill the needs of human in that society and in general on Ontario. So this is what we are planning to do right now. And I hope that anyone is listening to this video, he can support us, whether through coming, joining, and giving hand to establish this entity, submitting the application, which needs a lot of work. We have to do a feasibility study, business plan, we have to do market study, we have to do policy and procedure. All of this, we have to fulfill all of this before submitting the application. Plus, definitely, we need support financially. Okay, so we are open to anyone who wants to join us so that we can build the future of our kids and the youth in the society.